All right, music fans, welcome back. Harmless Dave here, talking about real music in real time for a few real people out there just like you and also just like me. So I got some brand new music for you to share, to talk about. Also, Neal Schon responds to the remake of a Journey classic, and he pretty much sums it up. Very brief statement. Trev Lukather is also talking about Steve Perry. And I always think that these takes are directed at me, some of the ones that are a little contrary to what I say, because I think I'm the only person who doesn't always love everything. Like, isn't it great? Isn't it fantastic? It's Steve Perry. At least I'm not posting new music by Steve Perry. I mean, I guess you can post whatever you want, right? If that works for you, if that's the clickbait that works, and new music from Steve Perry. It's not. It's the Effect doing an old Journey song. So anyway, here's some new stuff, right? And this is really good. The band is called Rendevu. This is a Swedish band, and it's run by this guy or orchestrated by this guy by the name of Oz Haw Peterson. Okay, it's not going to roll off the tongue, sorry, but that's his name. And it's kind of like an all-star project with all of these great musicians from that part of the world. I featured one of these songs over on Patreon, and it was a female singer. By the way, they have different singers on this, so you basically get, a good variety between male and female singers. People like Chris Rosender on lead vocals, who's just great. And this one song in particular, which featured a young lady, which is called The Essence of Love, got a lot of interest over on Patreon. It's kind of a combination between Starship and Survivor. So again, if you're looking to broaden your musical horizons a little bit, you should really check out this album. I have enjoyed all of the releases from it. They just dropped a track called Sacred Land a couple weeks ago. Again, here it is. If you want to stream it, it's probably easier to stream. Buying it, this took probably 2 or 3 weeks to get here, but it was worth it, and I'm happy. It will be in the running, maybe for one of the top albums for the year 2024, or I'm just going to say Hugo wins again, right? 2 years in a row, it's Hugo. That has never happened, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm going to try to move on from Voyage, but something's got to come along to really just do so much better. Now, Voyage is kind of like a Journey thing, in case you didn't know that. Speaking of Journey, right? That was the transition I was looking for. Neal Schon was responding to someone on Twitter who posted the new song, or the old song redone by The Effect, with Steve Perry somewhere in the mix, right? And this is what Neal Schon had to say. Very quick statement, but pretty much sums it up. He says, I was expecting to hear more of Steve, mainly because of all the hype. And that's it. That's all he had to say. And a lot of fans agreed with Neal Schon. Fans were also bothered that Perry's voice was in the background throughout the cover, meaning the cover of the song. Someone commented under the Journey guitarist post saying, he's buried way deep in the mix. A fan explained, me too. We love The Effect, but I wouldn't have known Steve was singing on it if I had just listened without knowing that. I thought he'd take a verse as lead or something like that. So yeah, there you go. But Trev Lukather has chimed in about Steve Perry. And he says, one thing people need to know is that Steve Perry can still sing his ass off, okay? This is Trev Lukather talking here. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. People think they deserve that in a weird way. He doesn't need to prove anything to anybody. He still has it, and he gets excited working with younger artists because it gives him that energy and that buzz to want to do things like this. He also added, who knows what he wants to do? He's talking about Steve Perry. More music? Another record, whatever. That's up to him, man. People have to respect those boundaries and respect whatever he wants to do. But he's still a powerhouse, man. I think that shows on this track. Well, we just got through hearing from fans and Neal Schon that where's Steve? You know, like I said in the first video, where's the beef? They work so well together, meaning that Emmett, the singer, and Steve Perry, his vocals, worked well together. Perry was in the mixing session too, by the way. Interesting. So Perry approved of that mix being where it is. Perry was there and with us, and the mixer, Will Briere. All of the vocal balancing is the stamp of the man himself. So Perry basically orchestrated and approved of the mix. So if you have an issue with where Steve is on the song, Steve Perry approved the mix. And look, there was a lot of hype, and Neal Schon got it right. A quick take, and a lot of fans were like, hey, where's Steve? And you know what? Look, the other day I did this video, don't pimp out Steve Perry. And I think that's why people are responding, not just to me, but to other people. It's like, yeah, you put Steve Perry on this and say featuring Steve Perry, and you can hear his voice kind of, but it's buried in the mix. But this band gets a lot of hype. They get a lot of traction, a lot of mileage out of the fact that Steve Perry is on their record. And then we get Trev Lukather saying things like, I don't know what he wants to do. Another record, more music. That's up to him, man. So just saying that, people are now going to go into chat rooms and say, hey, did you hear what Trev Lukather says? Someone will do a video. More music coming from Steve Perry. You know what? I need the Picard face palm right here. Just no, it's not coming anytime soon, probably. Now, look, Steve Perry could release new music, but all Trev Lukather is doing here is he's just speculating. He says another record, more music, whatever. That's up to him, man. Now, does he have insight? Did Perry say to him, hey, I'm working on a new album, and it's okay for you to hint that I'm working on a new album? I mean, maybe Steve gave those instructions to the guys from The Effect, including Trev, but we don't know. Then nobody knows. That's the thing. But like I said in that other interview, like speculating on Steve Perry has become a cottage industry. And part of it is there's really not that much to talk about. I mean, I can literally throw out a new album to people like this. This is a new band with great musicians over in Sweden putting out quality. In fact, if you like Journey, you should probably investigate Rendevu, right? Will people do that? No, probably not. Maybe a handful of people who come back to me and say, thank you for doing that. I mean, I use these video topics as like a springboard to talk about new material. Whereas people, it's a lot easier just to say, Steve Perry is recording an album right now. We don't know if that's true or not. But now that Trev has let the cat out of the bag and said that he could do that if he wants to. Yes, I could go hang gliding too if I wanted to. I'm not going to go hang gliding. I'm not going to do any bungee jumping anytime soon, but I could. I could do those things. So put it out there. Dave might go hang gliding. Probably not going to, though, but it's just a thing that could possibly happen. So anyway, Neal Schon nails it, right? I was expecting to hear more of Steve with all the hype. I mean, they promoted this for like 2 weeks, and then you're just like, all right, let me listen with a different set of headphones. And then, oh yeah, wait, is that him? That might be him. All right. So Rendevu, check this out. This is their debut album. A lot of different styles on this, but it's melodic rock. You've got dudes and you've got ladies and you've got a great mix and, some ear candy here, a lot of keyboards, a lot of guitar soloing. It's the kind of music that I grew up listening to, except it's 2024 and it's new material. All right. Courtesy of our friends over at Pride and Joy Music. a record label that is definitely an up and coming force within the melodic rock world. I'm Dave, a declining force thanks to the algorithm. I still need your help. Patreon, YouTube memberships, and buy me a coffee. Any way you want to support the channel, because, I can't rely on YouTube. I have 77K subscribers, and I have a fraction watching, which is depressing. I see channels with 10,000 subs, and they're getting 40,000 on a video. So I don't know, folks. It's just the way it is. I continue to get more subscribers, which I'm grateful for, but it's not really converting into viewership. I guess these topics are not exciting. I'm trying every single day to get content out. I thank all of you who are already helping via Patreon and the other places. It means a lot to me. It keeps things going. And again, thanks for watching. Pray for peace in the Middle East and here in the United States. It's 2024. So election time, just great. We got 6 months to go. And, it feels like it's going to be another year before we get there. For those of you outside the United States, you might want to pray for the United States so we can get through this without like martial law and the end of the world as we know it. Thanks again. See you soon.